Hi, my name is Catt and I'm the Dancing Vegan. Today we're going to make cranberry salad, an old family recipe, and it starts out with, wouldn't you know it, cranberries. First of all, you wash them, you pick out the bad ones, make sure you get all the squishy ones out, set them aside, you don't need them, or don't want them I should say. And then you either chop or process the cranberries. I usually use a food processor, and I just pulse them a few times and make sure that there are no big pieces. Sort of scrape it down once. And the cranberries are ready to go in. Put them in a nice big bowl, generous sized bowl. Get them all out. You don't want to waste any of that good stuff. You know, cranberries taste horrible if you just eat them plain. But if you make them into a dessert, they're delicious. All right, there are the cranberries. The other ingredients you're going to need are an orange, an apple, some pecans, sugar to sweeten up those cranberries, and pineapple. There are two kinds of pineapple that I use. My favorite kind of pineapple would be the pineapple tidbits, because they're just the right size so that you can get a mouthful and have other things in that mouthful besides just pineapple, because you want a whole experience. You want to have the pecans and the apples and everything in each bite if you can. So I use the tidbits. However, sometimes I can't find the tidbits, and so I get the pineapple slices and I just cut the rings all the way around and make the size that I want for it. All right, the next thing we're going to do is cut the ends off the orange. We're going to just cut the orange up a little bit. The only reason why we cut it up a little bit is it comes out in even pieces, more even pieces, when you process it in the food processor. So we're going to put that. That's the one other thing that we do in the food processor. You can do both of these things, the cranberries and the orange, just with a knife if you want to. But I think it's just easier to do it in the food processor. Just a little bit more. You want to process it fairly well, because since you're using the entire orange, you're using the peeling, and you don't want, like, this is really too big a piece. I'm going to just leave that out. You don't want to bite into a big piece of orange peel. Alright, I have my water on to boil, and that'll be ready momentarily. But right now I'm going to get this apple going. The apple I usually do with a knife by hand. You just cut it up in little pieces after you wash it and core it. And the reason I do it by hand is that, believe it or not, if you try to do this in a food processor, it will make applesauce. And applesauce is not quite what you want. This is a recipe that's full of texture. It's chunky, it's crunchy, it's just, and it's sweet too. And it has a little piquancy to it that just makes it wonderful. So you've got one apple here. I chose a green apple in this case. You can use any kind of apple you want. The green apple, I think this is a Granny Smith. So you might want to use just a little more sugar if you have a sour apple than you do if you have a sweet apple. But that's up to you. At the end, before you finish it, you can always taste it and see how you like the balance of flavors. I usually chop this pretty fine, but I'm going to just cheat a little bit today and make it not quite as fine so that it doesn't take as much time. We're going to get this into the bowl. All right. This lovely instrument is so good for scooping things up, putting them in the bowl. One of my most used kitchen gadgets. Okay, so we have our cranberry, our orange, our apple. Here's the drained pineapple. We're going to put that in. Never use fresh pineapple on this. We have a lot of raw things in here, but the pineapple is not raw because fresh pineapple causes jello kinds of things not to set properly. All right, let's get the sugar in. We have about 1.5 cups of sugar here. Put that over our fruits. And now we have the boiling water. We're going to transfer the boiling water to a Pyrex bowl, which won't break. I don't know why with jello type things they always tell you put the water in first and then you put the powder in and whisk it. I don't know why the order makes a difference, but I always follow the instructions. I have 2 3-ounce packages of vegan jello. Now you could do this with jello that's not vegan if you want to, but if you can use vegan jello and reduce the suffering in the world, why not? The vegan jello that I use right now anyway is called Geffen, and the phone number where you can buy this is 1-800-843-8585. They don't have really long hours there. It's not one of these 24-hour-a-day places. You may be able to get it on Amazon, but I always order it at that phone number. They're always very helpful and very nice. Okay, we're getting pretty good here. You want to whisk it really well so that there are no little lumps in it. And then you simply add it to your fruit and sugar. Pour it in. The one other thing that you might want to add, and I always do, is pecans. I love pecans in my cranberry salad. And what I do with them is give them a rough chop with my chef's knife. They don't need to be little tiny. You could even use pecan pieces. You don't have to use pecan halves. I usually use pecan halves because when you buy pecan pieces, they're already cut and they dry out a little bit. Don't retain all of their moisture. So I usually use pecan halves and just give them a rough chop like I'm doing here. Once again, my handy bench scraper scoops it all up and it's ready to go. Now I'm going to just check my recipe, make sure that I have everything that goes in here. Sometimes I forget something. And going back and trying to correct that, not good. All right, a 12-ounce package of cranberries, 1 orange with its peel, 1 apple, 1 can of pineapple tidbits, a cup and a half of sugar, or to taste, you decide how sweet you want it to be, and a rounded cup of pecan halves. That's all there is to it. Really an easy recipe. So then you're going to refrigerate it, and it's just going to get thick. And it just depends. You use as much water as you want to make it the consistency you want. So with 2 packages of this, I use a little less than 2 cups of water, because the directions will tell you one thing, but you might not want it as thick, or you might want it thicker. Adjust the water to make it how you want it. And each package says 2 cups of water. So I use a little under 4 cups for this recipe. I'm going to put it in a white bowl. Look how nice the green apple looks with that. One thing I like to do with this too is you get these canning jars, and you can put some in to give to the neighbors. You can use a 4-ounce size. You can use an 8-ounce size, depending on how much you want to give away. At my house, people don't want to give away too much, which is why you should make a double recipe. But it's beautiful, it's festive. You can put the lid on, put a bowl on top, and it makes a great holiday gift. I'm Catt, the Dancing Vegan. I hope you enjoyed this video.